Hey, Shalom. First, I want to say, call Allah and Wah, Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's all our praise and glory to the Heavenly Father Yahweh. In the name of the begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double unto the elder apostles, great millstones, rule well and teach well. The citation to you, I come out there doing the work in all truth, sincerity. Shalom to you, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. I'm back with another part 3 of um, Bible history is so-called Black history. Now, I had an article I want to read about this Salakia. Yeah, but I got an article I want to read about this this Judite who invented the cars. His name is Charles Richard Patterson. All right, and this is the reason why all the people across the earth, all right, that drive motorized vehicles. This is the reason why you can drive a car. All right. His name is Charles Richard Patterson. He was born a slave, and he built the he created the automobile as you know it today. And before I read this article, I want to read the scripture. This is Jeremiah 10 and 16. It says, "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the right of his inheritance. Yahweh of armies is his name, or Yahweh of hosts is his name." All right. Come here, Doc. Now, as you know, throughout history, pretty much Esau, he don't give Jake credit for all the things that he created and built for the society for Esau's kingdom. All right, and this is one of them because without this man, without this Israelite man, Charles Richard Patterson, you wouldn't even, well, we wouldn't be driving today. All right, and so I'm gonna read this article real quick. It says, Charles Richard Patterson, born slave, built automobiles before Henry Ford. Y'all watch my shop right there. I made some tea on the countertop out. Come on. So like it. Got a brother tuning in with me. It says Charles Richard Patterson, born slave, built automobiles before Henry Ford. So some of the finest buggies made in the late 1800s came out of it said Asmo. I can't read that part. It got it going sideways. Anyways, it says Charles Richard Patterson Company later made motor vehicles in history by founding the country's only African American, but if you know they're not African Americans, owned automobile manufacturing company. It says, jumping down, it says, to hear Tom Smith tell it, had Patterson been a white man, Greenfield, Ohio could have been another Detroit. Smith, car dealer and lifelong resident of Greenfield, has spent years compiling mementos and information about the historical family. Just before the Civil War, Patterson left slavery and headed north, bringing blacksmithing skills he learned in Virginia. Not long after settling in, Patterson began working at a carriage company. By 1870, he was a foreman, and by 1873, Patterson had gone into business with J.P. Lowe, a white carriage maker. And more than likely, this double J.P. Lowe, he didn't just, because trust me, Jake ain't just going to business with this devil. This devil must have seen that this Jake was talented, and Esau is he's an expert at exploiting Jake talent. All right. It says when Lowe died about a decade later, Patterson became the sole owner. Right. It says he made 28 different horse-drawn vehicles, Dr. buggies, backboards, phaetons, rockaways, and serays. Says Smith, who managed to find and buy 3 Patterson buggies. Right. Now, you don't hear about that. You don't hear about that. All you hear is about the Ford and Dodge people. You got the Henry Ford, and you got the Dodge brothers that work for Ford. But you never hear about Charles Richard Patterson. This the man that's responsible for even them devils getting their ideas. All right. You got a precept?
Yeah, well, just make a quick mention. There was a lot of inventions by Jake that you know, Esau pretty much cashed in on, and you know, once they you know, tried to go into business for themselves or tried to get their ideas or inventions patented, Esau cashed in on it and either bought them out, or you know, you even had cases of, you know, Esau intimidating them out of putting their invention out there so they can take credit for it. This is Jeremiah 51 and 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name. All right, so
I just read it right before you walked in.
oh,
you know, that's perfect, man. That's the spirit, because I read in the 10th chapter actually, but you know, Esau steals all Jake shit. You know, without Israelites, this world wouldn't be what it is. It's this current society that it is today, as far as all the good things that was made, you know, and all the things that Esau profited off most, they are created and made by Jake, okay, by Israelite men, you know, so-called black men, so-called Latino men, so-called Native men, okay. All right, you got something else out?
No, well, you can go ahead and finish making your point.
Okay. This is continuing on with this article. It says by 1883, Patterson's 2 sons, Frederick Douglass and Samuel, could help Dad work at what had become C.R. Patterson and Son Carriage Company. They became natural mechanics and even built some of their own designs, says Smith. It says, Sam died in 1889. Fred went on to make his own history by being the first black person to graduate from the town's high school in 1888, and the first black football player at Ohio State. All right. So basically, this Jake, you know, which, you know, it's only natural that you teach your sons, you know, your trade, okay. All right, you know, naturally, when a boy grew up around his father, he gonna grow up wanting to be like his dad, okay? And so, pretty much, this Jake, you know, he taught his sons, you know what I'm saying, his business that he had established, you know, and one of his sons actually got into it, and his sons actually was natural mechanics, and they helped him, you know, make some of the designs for the cars, you know, that he was coming up with, okay? So that's pretty much it on that article.
All right, I'm gonna read this precept for you.
Come on.
This is Psalm 62 and 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. It's a lie, you know. Because, you know, whenever, just like the brother was going into, you know, as far as whenever these Edomites see Jake being industrious or, you know, having potential as far as anything that'll work for them in the economic field, they'll seek to cast them down from their excellency, you know. Because I was watching a documentary once about pretty much Jakes that, you know, had, you know, businesses, and, you know, a lot of them, you know, was pretty much getting lynched, you know, because, you know, according to the curses, you know, pretty much we weren't going to excel in this society, and, like, you know, that's Esau maintaining his oppression over us, you know, as a nation of people.
I'll get that too since you mentioned it. Yeah. I can back you up. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 19. It says, "Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out."
Kind, and that's the reason why even like since brother is going into the Jake inventors, like they don't have an inheritance to leave for the generations ahead for Jake that's coming into war after them, because that's part of the curse, that curse shalt thou be coming in and curse shalt thou be going out.
Okay.
So we born under captivity and under the curses. Pretty much that's pretty much what's gonna carry forward until we delivered up out of here.
Jumping down to verse 29, it says, "And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways."
All right, and that's the reason why especially nowadays, you got a lot of Jakes who pretty much lack a sense of direction or purpose as far as where they're going in life. So that's that's one of the reasons why you see a lot of these niggas out here on the street corners, doing what they do. That's part of our nation groping about at noonday.
It says, "And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee." And I'm pretty sure for this Jake Charles Richard Patterson, his family probably didn't inherit none of his money, most likely, because why? The Lord said that we won't prosper in our ways, so he probably had a little finance or riches for the moment. All right, but the main riches that was made off that of his creation or invention, all right, was profited by Esau, man. Esau received all that revenue and sales. All right, because look at today. All right, you don't have a Patterson Motor Company, all right, or Patterson Car Company, all right. Nobody even know about it unless you go and dig it up, okay. All right, so that's a curse, man.
As a matter of fact, let me read this.
Come on.
This is Nahum 2:2. "For the Lord Yahweh hath turned away the excellency of Jacob, as the excellency of Israel, for the emptiers have emptied them out and marred their vine branches." Just like Israel used to be, the land of Israel used to be, the chief or known city of beauty of the world. Now it's defiled with the Esau and these heathens being there, and pretty much like the Most High pretty much took away the greatness that he put on us as a people, as far as these curses being upon us.
Because you even got to where the Gooks, you know what I'm saying, the Moabites and Ammonite cars, man, they'll come over here and sell good, but like I said, there's no Patterson Car Company, man. But you got a Toyota company, all right. You got a Honda company, all right. You got a Ferrari company. You got all kind of cars, but none of them is Jake. None of them is Israelites owned and manufactured by Israelites. Okay, all right. So that lets you know right there that these curses fall upon us. All right, as far as our people, man. Because this Jake, man, I mean, to invent a car, man, that's not nothing simple, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that go with the car, you got to start, at the block of the engine, okay? With the pistons, and the piston rings. You got the pressure, I forget the name of them, the pressure little needles and springs that they correlate when the engines are moving, the pistons are moving. My dad used to be a mechanic, you know what I'm saying? My dad was a natural mechanic. He didn't go to school for it. He just was a mechanic. All right, he was a mechanic. He was a young man, like young, what you call adolescence or teen years. You know, he started off back then, you know, and he didn't, he didn't go to no fucking, mechanic school. Jake is naturally gifted like that because like I said, we're special people until Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. And so,
and then I mean, I hear a conversation of what these Edomites was talking and shit. I mean, like they was pretty much saying that pretty much college is a waste of fucking time because you got to spend all of that fucking money for tuition and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's better to get a trade. And it's pretty much best to, get a trade under your belt anyway because at least now you have hands-on experience in a certain craft or field, which Jake would more excel in the first place.
Well, that's true because it is a hands-on because when you go into school, you're just reading books and you're studying books and shit.
Memorizing notes and information or a test and bullshit like that.
And so when you actually get out there in the field, all right, with the actual work field, a lot of college kids they lost out there. They thought that these books that they stored up here was going to help them out in the field. And so you get a lot of college kids that, like the brother said, that does that, man. They come in the actual workplace and be looking lost and stupid. And you got guys been there 20, 30 years. He's the expert at it. And what happens to him? He get bumped out the way for this guy that went to school and don't know shit. Go ahead.
All right, because they validate these fucking Edomites by their degrees and shit. But you come with those same type of credentials, possibly in the same fucking college. They're saying, oh, well, you're overqualified for this position. This is 1 Maccabees 1. I'm going to start at verse 39. It says, her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbath into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. So, same way like what happened during the time of the Maccabees, when they took us into hardcore captivity, I mean, we've been changed to this lower state as a nation and as a people, so we really don't get to shine for our excellency, Nowadays, Jake is just known for black culture and hip hop music and all that bullshit, when we used to be, the smartest, most intelligent people on the planet, that these nations used to envy.
You know something? I want to bring this out because this is something that Esau does to perfection. This is Proverbs 22 and 22. It says, "Rob not the poor, because he is poor; neither oppress the afflicted in the gate." Now, it's a world-known fact that our people are poor. All right, and what does Esau do? Because you have Jakes that come up with shit all the time. And what Esau do? He come right in and steal that shit, steal their patents, steal their inventions. All right, you will never hear this Jake ever again. And he go back to wherever he came from, ghetto, whatever, reservation, whatever it may be. It says, "Rob not the poor, because he is poor; neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. For the Lord will plead their cause, and spoil the soul of those that spoil them." So that's hey. So you Edomites gonna be spoiled for that. All right. The Lord said he gonna give these heathens, our adversaries, for a spoil to us, because they spoiled us. All right. So hey, that's Deuteronomy 30 and 7. All right, and also with that Jeremiah the 30th chapter, around about the 16th verse. All right, all our adversaries shall go into captivity. All right, because what they do, they swallowed us up, man. These heathens have swallowed us up. Jake been in this society, or in this land over here in America, Babylon the Great, all this long time, and yet we still piss poor, man. But all the heathens come over here, these scriptures don't lie, man, when they say that Matter of fact, let me get that real quick.
Nah, if I read this.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus 10:30. The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. Right now, Esau is the rich man, and Jake is the poor man, and the poor man really can't even be exalted when he has a skill that he excels at,
Because everybody knew a rich man. Like the Donald. Before he became the president of this corporation in America, he was a rich man, and everybody knew him.
I mean, I used to see that motherfucker on his show, The Apprentice. That's when around that age, that's when I found out about Mr. Chump.
Yeah, but he was a rich man. He was known, but the guy in the ghetto, which is usually more than likely a Jake, all right, the Israelite. He made this great invention, and he's forgotten. That great mind he had was forgotten. Because it's like, okay, yeah, give me. That's how Esau do. Come in, all right, what you got? Oh man, that's a great idea. That's a great invention. I think we can market that. And then what Esau do? You take that patent and go behind your back. He received copyrights to all the patents in LCC or LLC to all your patents, and then it's his shit.
I mean, Esau even has a TV show. I forget the name of the TV show, but they actually has a panel of these Edomites, these crackers, who are heads of corporations and shit like that, and they'll have people come in, with their ideas and inventions that they'll want to look for funding towards, and then they'll kind of critique it and see if it's a great idea, and tell them as to whether or not if they want to fund it or not, and then if they'll give them a certain amount of money for it, because I mean, pretty much these crackers look to everybody else around them for their ideas. They don't, they don't come up with their own inventions, because Most High really didn't put that creative spirit in them, except if it's for destruction, But anything that excels and progress, life as far as like the age of, advancing or things like that, they don't. Most High didn't put that in Esau.
I ain't gonna cut you off.
No, you got
it. Yeah, pause. I thought you could finish. This is Lamentations 2:16. It says, "All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. The Lord had done that which he had devised. He had fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He had thrown down and had not pity, and he had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee." All right.
There you go.
He said, con. And that's I wanted to get to that point because that's what actually happened. Our enemies have the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua put our enemies over us because we as a nation rebelled against him. We broke that covenant, man. And that's the whole point of us being over here in America. All right? In this current captivity, this current great oppression. All the tribes is represented right here. Right here in this land you call America, man. And we being oppressed together. Alright? You want to get that straight.
You fucking niggas out there.
Yeah.
Stop saying that the Latin tribes are not Israelites. Most High is going to put you niggas to death for that.
Come. Yeah, that's some stupid shit to even say, man.
I mean, that goes back to the Isaiah the 11th chapter. I mean, I don't mean to get off subject, but just to mention that point, that Judah shall not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim shall not envy Judah. So all this enmity between, the southern kingdom, which is you so-called Negro tribes, against the northern kingdom, the Latins and the natives, as far as them being Israelites, which they are Israelites. That's bullshit is gonna cease.
Come. It says, I'm continuing that precept. It says, He had thrown down and had not pitied, and he had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He had set up the horn of thine adversaries. All right. And like I said, you know, all these heathen, they prosper off of Jake, man. Don't get it twisted. All right. This is Jeremiah 50 and 33. It says, thus said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh of hosts, or Yahweh of armies, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Well, where were you oppressed together at? All right. Yeah, we was oppressed in Egyptian captivity. All right, but when have well, this was beyond the Egyptian captivity, first and foremost. This is, you know what I'm saying, this is Jeremiah speaking when he was in the Babylonian captivity. All right, so the Egyptian captivity had been passed. So what time rather? All right, is Jeremiah the prophet talking about? He's talking about right now. As great as a people we were, like the brother said, and how low we done fell, still we come up with the best ideas and inventions for, you know, the goodly things on this earth, but yet we still in the ghettos, oppressed together. All right, and all the tribes doing as they see Judah do, whether it's righteous or wickedness. Okay, but no. Not want to divert too much, off topic, you know, but you know, it just you know, spirit flow like that, you know, because you know, here it is, Jake making all these great adventures and built up this whole kingdom of society, man, and don't have nothing to show for it. All right, which brings me to my next point, man. This is Isaiah 14 and 3. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve." Hey, you making a fucking automobile, and these cars not cheap today, man. They wasn't cheap back then, because they was like, what was that? I can't remember that far back. I know, like back in the 60s and 70s, a few $1,000. You know, you had a nice fucking car. That was like top of the line. You know, that was like top of the line. You know, a few $1,000 today, man, you ain't get shit but a merely used car, man. Or not merely, but a hard ran-in car, I should say. Okay. So if you created that and you don't got shit to show for it, your name ain't even in the mix. Your family won't get none of that inheritance off that money. I mean, what do you call that, man? That got to be a curse. Because when you to make some shit and don't get nothing off of it, or the main benefit off of it, something ain't right. All right. So this is the hard bondage we was made to serve. He was born a slave. All right. Charles Richard Patterson was born a slave. All right. And it said he learned, you know, smith skills down in Virginia. He probably was one of them slave, or one of them Judite male slaves that was forced to coal mine and all that shit, man. Forced to do mining. All right, and they weren't getting paid back then, okay. All right. If you was an Edomite, you got paid.
And whatever breaks your ass got, it was the breaks that you snuck and took.
Right. They worked from sun up to sundown, and it was just that. But this is the hard bondage where we was made to serve at, man. And now, you know, the so-called black man is being revived, all right, by the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and the rest of the tribes, the so-called Latin tribes and the so-called native tribes. We all been revived by the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay. So when you look at the so-called black man, and you wonder why he's in such condition that he's in, well, it all start with the curses that the Lord put upon him. Okay. not because he want to be. And you guys, the average so-called black man, do he rather live? Would he rather live in the ghetto or live over in you know, in the nice side of town? He would tell you all day. He want to be on the nice side of town, right?
I mean, hey, a sensible Jake, not a nigga. I mean,
Yeah,
that's talking
Jake.
about being hood rich.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta make mention of that, cause you know niggas, niggas do that, and niggas will get $1 million and go back to the hood, get robbed, you know, and get shot and all kind of shit, you know. But you know, I'm talking about the average Jake male that actually has a little sense, man. He gets money, like the average Jake that go to school and get them decent jobs. When they get that decent job, they don't live in the ghettos no more. All right, they live over where 150,000, $250,000 homes are at, which is predominantly Edomite area, I had another precept I want to get. Oh, my pocket go. I can see my pocket. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm going to close on this right here. I couldn't find my book, my Black Inventors book. So Slakia out there, Akim out there, I had actually got a Black Inventors book that I wanted to go in depth with that I've been having. I ain't really got really into it. As far as on the video, I want to get really into it. There's a lot of things that Jake invented, like one come off the top of my mind is McCoy. What's his name? Gerald McCoy. They call him the real McCoy. Okay, well basically, this man or this Jake, this Israelite man, he made a system for the railway trains to be able to operate continuously without stopping by making this lubricant system where it will oil the wheels, and I forget the name of it, but basically the wheelies, the wheel part on the trains, that will get so hot.
And also where it could change the tracks for the direction of the train to go.
Con. Yeah, I haven't even talked about that guy in a long time, but yeah, that guy was, man, and then the crackers they wouldn't even they wouldn't even go get him until they just realized that no cracker knew how to fix the problem. Why these train cars keep on overheating and shit, brakes kept busting and all that shit, till they went and got the real McCoy Israelite man. I forget his first name, but they went and got him, and he saw the problem. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. Hey, you see a lot of you see a lot of so-called black men on corners. Well, you seen so-called black men on corners first before the rest of us tribes came out there, because that's the Lord raising the tents of Judah first. Okay, start with the tents of Judah. Okay, and now everybody else fall in line. And that's why you see Akim out on the highways and hedges today, man, because we all been quick with this knowledge, and we've been standing in the face, all right, of Esau, man, right to his face, telling me he's a devil, telling me he's going right into slavery for all the shit he's done to our people, and all that, man.
Hold up, I think is you talking about Elijah McCoy?
Yeah, Elijah McCoy. Yeah.
Yeah, it says Elijah McCoy was an inventor who developed the automatic lubricating cup, which allowed trains to travel without delays to add oil to the axles and bearings.
Yeah. Because what happened was it would overheat by that, and it'll wear down. If you don't have a proper lubricant, because it'll overheat and that shit turn red hot. And then when metal is red hot, it's easy to bend or break. Just like I worked doing this. We used to make side door panels and shit to cars and shit, right? It's called an oven press, right? And what happened was, we take this sheet metal and we put in this furnace, and it would be like 2,000 degrees. And it takes about, I think it takes about somewhere like 3 to 5 minutes I think it was, and they would heat that sheet metal up. It'd be red fucking hot. I'm talking about red hot. And we put it in a 500-ton press, and it would press it and shape it into the form of a side door. You open the side door up, and you see the metal part right there, where they got different things like the door latches on and locks, keep fast and closed, whatever. We would make those, you know what I mean, at this German car company, German manufacturing company, rather. All right, and that shit was like when I first started doing it, it was amazing to me. I'm like, damn, how the fuck, this, you get it. It's probably like a 3 millimeters thick sheet of metal, maybe 5 millimeters, and it's heavy as shit too. It wasn't no little piece of metal. It was big, man. It was probably about, I would say probably about 4 foot tall, okay, and probably a foot and a half wide. But basically, we had these large, big ass metal tongues that we would put in the furnace with. You open the door up, and that shit. I mean, we had to wear all kind of heat shielding, and protection gear, PPE. I mean, we come out of that shit in the morning, we be fucking sweating, man. You was sweating like you went swimming. It's like you jumped in the pool with your clothes on. That's how bad, you know what I'm saying? That's how hot that shit was, you know what I mean?
From what I'm reading, yeah, pretty much this society wouldn't be shit without Jake.
Yeah.
It's this is off of Black Enterprise. Y'all can look it up. 6 Inspiring Black Inventors Who Changed the World by Felicia Joy. It says, thanks to, I don't want to say, thanks to Israelites, inventors, and innovators, our lives are easier, more convenient, and more prosperous in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I even want to put Israelite on a fucking job application rather than that bullshit.
Yeah, I hate this.
Fuck that shit.
I hate when they say, well, ain't you black? I was like, nah, man. They be thinking me all crazy.
I'm not no fucking African, and I'm not American. Okay.
Oh yeah, cause a lot of people think I'm like, they call me, what they say, Dominican or some shit. They say I'm the Dominican or Cuban or some shit. Like, nah, man.
It says, although we rarely hear about these sharp, groundbreaking pioneers from the past and present, black innovators have contributed in every field, from mechanics to cosmetics to consumer goods to technology.
You just read Mechanics, Charles Richard Patterson.
Mm-hmm. This Black History Month, we pause to acknowledge a few.
Mm-hmm.
While working at IBM, Mark Dean, here's a picture of him here.
The camera over there.
Yeah. That's a picture of Mark Dean. Invented the first modern peripherals that enabled us to plug speakers, disk drives, scanners, and printers into computers. Dean holds 3 IBM's original 9 PC patents.
What's his name?
Mark Dean.
Mark Dean. You never hear about Mark Dean. You never hear about that, Jake. That's my first time hearing about it, at least.
Now, I put in Black Modern Inventors, so that's how that came up.
Hey, did they see how that scripture just came to life? And made no account of his labors.
Gone.
Who did that?
To cast him down from his excellency.
Gone. Who did that, man? Esau, man, you made no account of our labors, man, as far as a nation, man. All right. See, you refuse to acknowledge that your society won't be what it is unless you had not had the Israelites in here, man. See, without Israelites, a society ain't gonna be shit. And I'm just being straight with you, man. Our forefather, our uncle Yahweh made Egypt great. Egypt became a great empire because of Yahweh, whom you call Joseph. All right, that's facts, man. All right. So, hey, however you look at it, you need it. Hey, these what